call it the ghost bus because the 209 comes up the street and usually it's empty.
It's eerie. It's really eerie.
So if you look right now, there's usually not very many people.
Here's another bus.
Roan Tempest's family has lived in the avenues for 5 generations.
When these city streets were laid out by my ancestors in the mid-19th century, they didn't anticipate cars or buses or anything.
But he says those buses are changing things.
So there's noise, there's vibration.
Tempest and others have raised concerns over UTA bus route 209. It runs between downtown and Fashion Place in Murray. It also runs through about 2 miles of the avenues. The buses run before dawn at 4 a.m. and until 1 a.m. People say the bus brings noise, pollution, and road damage. It's a route extended into the steep hills east of downtown after UTA canceled 2 routes in 2022.
That eliminated a connection with the university where a lot of people work. And the other thing they did is they made this a very high frequency route.
To residents, the bus comes every 15 minutes going south and roughly 8 minutes going north. But while the bus comes often, residents believe there aren't enough passengers to justify its size, and what they say is the struggle it endures to get up the steep roads.
Our oldest son is on the autism spectrum, and he has supersonic hearing. So for him, the quality of life has changed a bit also.
According to UTA, the 4 stops from 3rd Avenue to 9th Avenue along L Street and into I Street saw an average number of 5.5 riders per day in July, with those numbers varying throughout the year.
If there's truly nobody there, that goes back to the supply and demand. If there's no demand, then the supply will change. As of right now, there's still demand for the service at these individual stops.
I actually rode the bus myself 4 times. During those specific rides, I only encountered 1 passenger, but UTA says in areas like Sugar House or Fashion Place, that's when ridership picks up.
Sure, there's always going to be parts of any route that are going to have a little bit lower and a little bit higher, but overall that route is in the top 10 in popularity over the past 2 years in the entire UTA system.
It feels to me like the wrong solution to the transportation problem.
So residents aren't asking UTA to stop the route completely, but rather they're asking for perhaps a change in equipment, maybe a smaller van or a smaller bus. UTA says they are always evaluating routes and the needs of the community, but Gustafson says any resident can address their concerns with the city and UTA's customer service line. For now,
there's nothing sadder than an empty bus.
Tempest will keep watching the 209 drive past, hoping for quieter days ahead. Shanti Lerner, Fox 13 News, Utah.